Of course, that is a game that takes real skill.
It does. Yeah, and I'm not trying to flatter everyone here, but if I know one thing about this audience, is that none of you had to pay someone to play Diablo for you.
It's hard to level up your own characters when you're dismantling democracy.
If you get mad at that joke, it's Greg Miller. G-R-E-G.
M-I-L-L-E-R. Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
I think the biggest thing, especially for this podcast and the conversation we're trying to have here, that I'm trying to lead here, I should say, more than we're trying to have, is that I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm asking you to vote for Kamala Harris. Like, you can do whatever you want. And again, if you feel like you need to sit this out and that you don't want to be a part of this and you can't vote because of a single issue, I'm not going to tell you to vote for it. I'm going to ask you to vote for her and get over that, because I think this is race is too important, that there is too much on the line. And
it's hard to level up your own characters when you're dismantling democracy.
Is that I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm asking you to vote for Kamala Harris. And get over that.
Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
You can't make this. I got nothing. I got nothing. Just roll the title. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. My name is Mockedy, the art streaming and illustrator. Welcome you to another video here on the Mockedy Draws channel. Hope you all are doing well today. And oh my god. Oh my god! We got a bit of a we got a bit of a doozy today. I'm gonna try to kill two birds with one stone here, because we got an article. We got someone from who works at IGN that I'm a little late to the party on, and then we got someone who used to work at IGN that I think is probably the right time to point and laugh, because yikes. Absolute yikes. And of course, before we get into it, you guys know I'm going double or nothing, 6K by the end of this year. So a little quick plug: smack that like button, make it jiggle, smack that subscribe button, make it jiggle. Really appreciate all of your support. So let's get started with a little appetizer here. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. First up, Miss TJ Hafer, or Leana Hafer of IGN. You probably reckon that name doesn't ring a bell. Here, let me see if I could joggle your memory just a little bit.
And while we've been asked by the devs not to spoil specifically who I'm talking about here, as a non-binary person myself, Veilguard includes some of the most authentic representation of coming to terms with general gender stuff, and having to navigate your family's reaction to it I've yet to see in a game. It doesn't feel like an after-school special or like I'm being pandered to. It's quite well handled, and finding out that the writer for this character is non-binary themselves did not surprise me at all. If we never get another Dragon Age, at least it got to go out on a high note.
Yeah, well, she made it into the headlines last week, and hilarity ensues, and you probably know what happens after this one. And listen, what I'm going to show you here, if this is not an example of journalists and sites like IGN having zero integrity whatsoever, then I don't know what to tell you, because, well, she ran her mouth, and like clockwork, any ounce of any smallest bit of blowback, she immediately goes private. Like I said, it knows zero integrity whatsoever. Let's get right into it. This is coming from Smash JT. It's come painfully obvious nowadays that the term professional gaming journalism industry, well, buddy, I use that phrase as extreme jest, boils down to a circus of activists pretending to be journalists. Case in point, IGN's own TJ Hafer, or Leana Hafer, or Lynn, till 4 on Twitter. Do not, I repeat, do not harass them. Do not contact with them whatsoever. On my behalf, please. Thank you. They already private their account, by the way. I can't keep up with all these names. Anyways, Len has openly admitted that he'll dock review points from any game that refers to a body of water as Gulf of America. Okay, so little context here because this goes into the political angle, and I really try to steer away from it, but I guess this case is just hilarious. Essentially, when the Orange Man went into office, started this year, one of the changes was changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and me personally, I think that is stupid. I think that is, I personally think that's stupid, but we can agree to disagree on this one. Well, however, that did cause a meltdown, and this one right here, this lovely individual, which tweets I will show happily on screen, and I will read out loud to you to show that journalists like Leana, basically most journalists in general, do not have any integrity or self-respect, and don't really care about actually reviewing a game based on its merits, and basically using political talking points as a way to dock review points. Let's get into it. Lynn lovingly say here, I'll take away the whole point of a review score for any future map games that call it the Gulf of America. You think I'm joking? You think I want to do this forever? I could start some fires on the way out. Try and call the bluff. No one has ever let this amount of soft power go to their head before AFAIK. If somebody can let me know what AFAIK means, I'm probably a little stupid on that one, but feel free to let me know in the comment section. So this is a doozy here. So let's get started here. The whole point. So any game, you just openly admitted to the fact that any game, any upcoming title with a map that shows the Gulf of America instead of the Gulf of Mexico, you're going to immediately dock points for. Why? Why? I mean, why? I mean, clearly, this is a political angle. I mean, what's the point? So you're not even reviewing this game on its own merits alone, or that game, or any other game at this point. And, that second little tweet, you think I'm joking, and wanted to do this forever, and I could start some fires on the way out. I wouldn't say this sounds like a threat, but I'm definitely calling you bluff, because knowing how shilly you guys can be at IGN, you know darn well that if you even try to pull something like that off, you gonna get ratioed and disliked all the way to the Shadow Realm. Let's be honest here. After your little stint on Dragon Age the Veilguard, giving it a 9 out of 10 based on inclusivity, representation, and all that kind of stuff, instead of, and not seeing the forest for the trees on how badly written, bad product that this game actually is, then yeah. You have no integrity. You ain't got no backbone. And yeah, people are gonna call you. People ain't gonna be surprised at this point. This little meltdown that you have right now. And by the way, if I'm going all over the place, I apologize. But by the way, soft power is gonna be the new term for, say, somebody of a higher authority, or in a place of high authority, doing something that you do not agree with. They will use the term soft power. Just remember that. Years ago, it would have been rare to see someone outright admit that they're abusing their position to push their own personal views, and yet here we are. It's a common occurrence at this point. It's even more disturbing letting know that Len is the very same journalist who shamelessly, and it was very much shamelessly, gave Dragon Age Veilguard 9 out of 10 for the representation that I brought up, and let alone the inclusion of trans surgery scars and vitiligo sliders and all the other sliders. But yet, you wonder you have a busted breast slider and it's still flat as a table. Or it's Brie Larson, either or. But the ideological pandering is more important than actual gameplay to some of these so-called professionals. Cover that story here, and yeah, yikes. Of course, now they privated an X account. It happens every single time, okay? Every time that any one of these journalists, any one of these media pundits just run their mouth on X, they immediately just turn tail and hide. Well, Miss Lynn, I have unfortunate news to tell you. Yeah, it's archived. You can't hide from it this time. You gonna remember that. People are gonna remember that. It's no wonder IG and other mainstream outlets are circling the drain, eating themselves alive with their own activism instead of hiring actual journalists who deeply care about gaming and our beloved pastime. And this is the exact reason why they throwing a hissy fit against content creators and YouTubers like Smash JT, Hypnotic, whatever you have name it. You know, calling them different names, grifters, right-wing grifters, anti-wokies, whatever you want to call it. It clearly is the case that the content creators are doing the actual job here. Doing the actual job. They're actually doing the work. They're actually doing the actual reporting, and they're trying not to BS about it either. It's this. You can see that this kind of journalism, these kind of journalists, this kind of reporting is on the way out at this point. And I don't think that Leana Hafer is probably gonna be keeping a close eye on what reports or what reviews that she's given in front of her, because any amount of bias is going to get her even more flack. Listen, authenticity and passion will always win out over corporate back propaganda. Leana, what you doing is corporate back propaganda. Perfect sense, which makes the whole thing with the whole U.S. aid situation even make more sense now. Anyway, that's just one of the that's just the appetizer. Here is the main course, and I am so looking forward to sinking my teeth into this one. Which leads us to one Gregory Miller, formerly of IGN and host of the Kind of Funny YouTube channel. Now, over the years, Greg has been definitely in with the mainstream media, in with the gaming press and the journalists and all that good stuff. And over the years, Greg has had moments where he has lovingly put his foot right in his mouth. Well, this recent event here is no exception. At the DICE Awards, which is of course video game award show for the developers and such like that, he went on and presented an award for Diablo 4, which went into a little snark tirade on Elon, basically paying to get his account leveled up on Diablo 4 and such like that. Those accusations, and it also ended with the lovingly F Elon and F the Orange Man. Well, during his little tirade, his little temper tantrum, he thought to himself, this is going to be really cool when I post this on Twitter, by the way, because it's going to own the Orange Man, it's going to own Elon, and it's also going to own the Chuds, basically. Well, yeah, that didn't work out for him, because his little Twitter post got him ratioed into the Shadow Realm once again. You stuck your foot in your mouth, Greg, and it's really, really shows that the gaming industry, the games media, the game pundits, people like Kind of Funny. Of course, we could bring in Andy Cortez in there as well, but a lot of people within the mainstream gaming press, and from what we've been seeing for the past couple of years and such like that, they don't care about gamers. It doesn't matter about gamers. It doesn't matter. The gamers don't matter to them. getting backpats, getting all this media attention, getting exclusive access to games and such like that. That's the only thing that matters, and along with peddling whatever activism of the day that they feel so strongly about, basically. And it just really is a lot of self-contradiction going on with Greg Miller, because you're talking, you basically have a history of talking both sides of your mouth. And of course, with his political spat of F Elon, F Trump, which really did make this political. And then before that, saying, I'm not telling you to vote for the other candidate. I'm asking you to vote for the other candidate. Yeah, we can see the what side of your bread that you like to be buttered, basically, and you make no bones about it, which is totally fine there. But you are speaking on both sides of your mouth because, well, one of the most infamous moments of Greg Miller putting his foot in his mouth and right up his own quiche is when he threw his beloved friend Colin Moriarty under the bus over a joke on International Women's Day. I'm putting all those receipts up in front of you for look at the screen. Just look at that beautiful. Look at that. Yeah, he threw Colin Moriarty under the bus over a joke on International Women's Day. Well, it seemed to kind of bite Greg right back in the ass because, because despite the fact that, he was like, oh, I don't support this. I support all my women's here on the International Women's Day. And so it's like that, basically virtue signaling and basically bending over and showing his behind in front of everybody. Well, turns out that Colin Moriarty, who got dropped from Kind of Funny, went on over to do Last Stand Media, which is doing exponentially better than Kind of Funny right now. In fact, Colin Moriarty is a much more successful career after IGN, after Kind of Funny, more than Greg Miller did after IGN. Yeah, Greg, I don't know how to tell you this. You did this to yourself. You're a part of this. You're part of this. You and a lot of these journalists, a lot of these media pundits, a lot of these access media types are all in cahoots, are all part of this exclusive club where the gamer, the consumer are simply not welcome, simply not invited. You want to turn this industry into an exclusive club, and that ain't gonna work, bruh. That ain't gonna work. You have shown your ass multiple times over the years, and it has consistently bite you back in the ass as well. So for this little stint you put, because you got some derangement syndrome going on, and clearly you're a little salty over you're a little salty over your candidate not winning the election in November, and two, it just stems from an elitist mindset, basically, that you think you can do no wrong, which clearly that is definitely not the case. And the replies, the amount of replies and the quote tweets here speak for itself, and it really just shows that. I want to highlight one from Stuttering Craig, who definitely took it personal, especially on his reaction to this video, to Greg Miller's video, to which Greg Miller, they've definitely had a history together. They've definitely been friend zoned. They've definitely been seeing eye to eye, but seems that ideologies and stuff changes over time, and Stuttering Craig was not happy about this, especially with how what the issue was going with concerning his own Game Awards show. So to quote Stuttering Craig on Twitter, "The real Game Awards was labeled right wing, and literally nothing political was said during the show at all. Does this mean that this award show is radical left wing progressive, since Greg literally said F Trump during it? Also, this is 100% scripted, so the award show signed off before they did it. And of course they did it. This was a whole segment. This was definitely planned, and it's clearly a case of double standards. That is always running rampant everywhere these days, isn't it? Listen, Greg, if you really think that this was some kind of own, this was some kind of dunk, well, unfortunately, you are the one who got dunked on, and it just shows that you do not care about the industry. You do not care about the actual customers that care about the actual gamers. All you care about is keeping that access media badge at all times. Keep getting that exclusive access to titles before anyone else, getting that one of those one-on-one interviews, shilling. For the case of shilling, in my opinion, Greg Miller, you don't care about the actual gamers, man. You just as shill, you just as bad as you were on IGN, if not even worse. But that's just my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comment section down below. I thought this was a much more funnier video to bring out, and I apologize if I'm a little late on this one, but I thought this was so amusing to talk about. So anyway, you guys can follow me on Twitter and Newgrounds, all that good stuff. My social media is my Etsy shop as well, and everything in the link in the description down below. Of course, massive thank you to everybody in the cute, sexy, and fun nation. If you guys want to see your name on the screen, join the CSF Nation for as low as $1 a month. You get access to exclusive art drops that I do every 2 months for my channel members. Thank you to everybody who has joined the channel and supported me this far. And of course, I thank you all for watching. I'm Marketing ID Art Sermon Illustrated. I'll see y'all next time for another video. So until then, stay cute, stay sexy, have fun. Take care, much love, never apologize for wanting attractive women in your media, especially in your video games. And above all else, never stop